I was a very calm baby, the kind every parent dreams of. My parent could set me down and I'd sit quietly, letting them relax. It was a good life for them, for a while. Then things changed when I turned 3. I became intensely curious, bombarding my parents with questions, especially at the grocery store. I wanted to know why cereal boxes were certain colors, and I'd ask the same questions over and over, hoping for answers that never came. I couldn't understand why my questions, which felt so important, seemed to irritate others. I suppose I've been persistent since a young age. Growing up, I was always a bit different. I liked having friends, but I often found toys more interesting than talking. I'd even tell a friend, "Stop talking to me, you're bothering me." And then there was another story with flies at school. I noticed flies circling around the classmate. So I asked her why they were always around her. My teacher said that my question was rude, explaining she probably ate a lot of fruits. She told me to apologize, which I did, but I stayed annoyed because I never saw fruit on her desk. I started to realize that some thoughts are better kept to myself. In 3rd grade, I made a friend who was a lot like me. We loved drawing together, one beside another. But one day, my teacher introduced her to other kids and told me not to play with her anymore, all of a sudden. When I asked why, she simply said, "I want you to make new friends." So I was left all alone. Soon, kids noticed that I was often alone, and the real problems started. Some even threw earthworms at me during recess. When I spoke up, I was told I needed to learn to defend myself. At age 9, I started karate, and I loved it, even though it was very difficult for me for the motor skills. I also loved swimming, and I made a friend at the pool. However, I had an awkward moment when she told me that her grandmother died, and I started laughing. I felt really bad. I realized that I did not pay attention to her when she told me that this was really not funny. So I promised myself after that to be more careful. So this theme of being misunderstood followed me through my life, even into my student jobs. These are funny ones. Once working in a kitchen, the chef said, "We should cut some cheese," while looking at me, but without saying my name. I didn't realize she meant me, so I didn't do it. She was upset at the end of the day because the cheese wasn't cut. But I told her, "You didn't ask me." Pronouns just didn't click for me. In another job at a cafe, I struggled at the drive-thru. I couldn't do 2 things at the same time. Once I gave a customer an empty cup by accident. "Have a nice day, sir." No coffee inside. Thankfully, he laughed it off. I even brought a whole carton of milk to a customer who'd asked just for a splash. Throughout my studies, I often felt like an alien, never quite fitting in. I kept asking for help, but was usually told that I was just a shy person. Then, during my master's in learning disabilities, I saw videos of people who were reminding me of myself. And at 28, I went for an assessment and discovered I was autistic. I finally had a way to understand myself, and I was relieved to have words for my experiences. With this new understanding, I wanted to share my diagnosis. But when I told my doctor, he flipped through the file and said, "Valérie, I don't believe you're autistic. You have a master's, but autistic people don't achieve things. Later, when colleagues who had been friendly learned about my diagnosis, they stopped inviting me to lunch and even blocked me from parts of my job. I felt like the same old struggle to be understood resurfacing. I decided to go see a therapist to help me with the process of self-acceptance. She told me, "How can you be so autistic? You are so pretty." This was the continuation of a long battle to make myself understood. But one constant in my life that has always helped me is karate, even though it was always a challenge throughout the years. Instructors would get frustrated with me because I'd mix up left and right. I'd struggle to follow instruction. At some points that was really bad, but I was persistent. So at 13, my karate club awarded me the Determination Trophy. So that was a turning point. I realized I could achieve great things even if the world felt difficult. After that, I committed to my dream of earning a black belt. It wasn't easy at all. In my old club, I was often excluded, sent to do basic techniques alone while others practiced together. For 4 years, I wiped away my tears and kept going. At 32, I finally earned my black belt. I also developed a passion for competitions, especially fighting. I really wanted to fight, even though I was often left to fight alone, while instructors chatted on the sidelines. I kept going, determined to succeed. I changed clubs, I found supportive instructors, and trained hard. In 2019, I won the Quebec Cup and competed in several Canadian championships. After COVID, I wanted to continue, but my legs grew heavier, so I switched to para karate. And in 2022, I won the WUKF World Championship in Inclusive Karate. I was so proud. Then, my legs stopped cooperating altogether, so I transitioned to seated karate. This summer, in 2024, I became a world champion in seated karate. Today, I work with children with special needs. I believe in each one of them, because I know what belief can do. I remember those who helped me and that trophy I received when I was 13. I'd like to say that even though we're different, we should never give up on our dreams. And when you believe in a student, you can change their world and you can make the world a better place. Thank you.